14 habits you must quit to make 2025 the best year of your life. Stoicism. True change doesn't come from adding more to your life. It comes from letting go of what no longer serves you. This powerful idea is at the heart of modern Stoicism and is exactly what can make 2025 your best year yet. As we step into a new year, we're all eager to make fresh starts, set ambitious goals, and chase new dreams. But what if the secret to unlocking your fullest potential isn't about piling on more resolutions, but about shedding the habits that hold you back? Stoicism teaches us that the greatest freedom comes not from gaining more, but from releasing what weighs us down, whether it's self-doubt, procrastination, or the fear of failure. So why let outdated habits control the direction of your life? In this video, I'm going to reveal 14 habits you must quit if you want to make 2025 the year you break free from the chains that limit you. These habits, hidden in plain sight, have been quietly sabotaging your progress. Are you ready to find out which ones are holding you back? Let's dive into how you can use the Stoic secrets to clear the path for true growth and transformation. Number 1. Excessive comfort. How could comfort be secretly holding you back? It's easy to find comfort in the familiar and cozy, the comfort of routine, your space, and the predictable outcomes of staying where you are. It feels great at first, right? Who doesn't want to feel comfortable in their own life? But here's the thing. Comfort can quickly become a trap. Too much comfort can actually be the thing that holds you back from growing and evolving. You can start to settle, stop pushing yourself, and miss out on opportunities that are supposed to propel you forward. Comfort, in excess, can lull you into complacency. It tricks you into thinking that as long as everything feels easy, it's okay to stay put. But here's the truth. Real progress doesn't come from staying in your safe zone. The Stoics understood this concept deeply. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said it perfectly. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about that for a moment. Every challenge, every obstacle, every uncomfortable situation is an opportunity for you to grow. When you avoid discomfort, you avoid the very thing that's meant to make you stronger, smarter, and more capable. But when you choose to embrace discomfort, you unlock parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. Growth is like a muscle. Imagine you never challenged your body with resistance or weight. It would stay weak, wouldn't it? You wouldn't grow physically or build strength. The same applies to your personal growth. If you never try anything new or step outside your comfort zone, how will you ever know what you're capable of? Stagnation sets in, and you start to lose confidence, purpose, and drive. But when you challenge yourself, whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a daunting project, or enduring something uncomfortable like exercise, you're building resilience. You're becoming stronger, more capable, and more prepared for the next challenge. Think about it. What's the point of always opting for the path of least resistance? The real growth lies on the other side of discomfort. It's not just about physical challenges, though. This applies to your career and personal development, too. Those who push beyond what's easy, those who are willing to face discomfort head-on, are the ones who achieve the greatest success. And here's the kicker. When you embrace discomfort, you're not only strengthening your body, but also your mind. Modern Stoicism teaches us something incredibly powerful, that we control our responses, not the world around us. Marcus Aurelius lived this truth daily. When you consistently choose the easy path, you're giving up your power to shape your own life. To make 2025 your best year yet, you need to step into discomfort. Embrace the moments that challenge you and push you to evolve. Those moments, however difficult, are where your true strength is forged. Instead of running away from tough situations, see them as opportunities for growth. The more you stretch, beyond your limits, the more you evolve into someone capable of achieving incredible things. The secret to fulfillment isn't in seeking comfort, it's in choosing action, self-improvement, and resilience. You don't grow by staying where you are, you grow by daring to step into the unknown. So, ask yourself, how will you choose to push beyond your comfort zone in the coming year? What challenges are you willing to face head-on in order to unlock your true potential? Let's embark on this journey of growth together, because true transformation lies just beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone. Number 2. Complaining. Complaining is a silent thief of our energy and focus, quietly stealing away our potential to move forward. It lures us into the habit of always focusing on what's wrong, instead of taking proactive steps to improve our circumstances. It's easy to complain when things don't go our way. It's almost second nature to vent about frustrations or the difficulties life throws at us. But here's the hard truth. Complaining doesn't solve anything. It simply amplifies dissatisfaction, keeping us locked in a cycle of negativity. In fact, when you complain, you surrender your power to external circumstances, allowing them to dictate your emotions. Instead of controlling your responses and maintaining inner peace, you give control to the outside world. As the Stoics taught us, the only real power we have is over how we react to life's challenges. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When we focus on complaining, we often miss the bigger picture, the opportunity to take constructive action. Complaining just reinforces a sense of helplessness, a belief that we're victims of our circumstances. But what if we could shift our mindset to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth, just as Helen Keller did? Despite being both deaf and blind, she didn't waste time complaining about what she lacked. Instead, she turned her adversity into her strength by learning, writing, and inspiring millions around the world. Imagine for a moment if she had chosen to let her condition define her, if she had let bitterness and complaints consume her energy. She wouldn't have changed the world the way she did. The same applies to you and me. If we spend our time complaining about what we don't have or what's wrong, we rob ourselves of the chance to make things better. Next time you're faced with frustration or the urge to complain, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, what can I do about this? If it's something within your control, focus on solutions and take action. If it's beyond your control, let it go. Complaining serves no purpose other than to amplify frustration. On the other hand, focusing on action leads to progress. By practicing the Stoic secrets of emotional control and inner strength, you begin to see challenges not as burdens, but as stepping stones. You transform adversity into a catalyst for growth. What stands in the way becomes the way. So, when faced with difficulty in 2025, instead of complaining, become a problem solver. Refuse to waste your energy on something that doesn't serve you. In this coming year, by breaking the habit of complaining, you reclaim your power. You decide how to respond to life's obstacles. Life will always present challenges. It's inevitable. But what will define you is your ability to rise above them, to not let them break your spirit. By shifting your mindset, you transform yourself from someone who reacts to someone who takes charge of their life. Let the next year be one where you take control of your response to the world, leaving behind complaints and stepping forward with a mindset of growth, action, and resilience. The Stoic secrets offer us a powerful toolkit for navigating life, and by mastering our reactions, we build not only a stronger character, but also a more empowered and positive existence. Number 3, lack of self-control. Self-control is the bedrock of personal mastery. It's what separates those who drift aimlessly from those who carve their own path. Without it, we surrender our lives to fleeting emotions, impulsive desires, and the influences of the world around us. The Stoics, with their unwavering wisdom, emphasize that true freedom doesn't come from indulging every whim or giving in to immediate satisfaction. Instead, freedom is found in the ability to govern our minds, to exercise discipline over our thoughts, and to choose our actions deliberately. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When we lack self-control, we become slaves to our impulses, reacting to life instead of consciously choosing our responses. And in a world full of distractions and temptations, it's easy to see how this could happen. Whether it's succumbing to the urge for instant gratification, letting anger dictate our actions, or procrastinating when it matters most, the absence of self-control allows us to lose sight of what truly matters. Consider James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, as an example. A traumatic head injury in his youth could have easily led him down a path of despair, but instead he chose a path of discipline. He meticulously rebuilt his life, one small habit at a time, focusing on consistency rather than perfection. His journey shows that discipline isn't about rigid control, but about consistency in the face of adversity. Through the lens of modern Stoicism, we see that this practice of self-control, though challenging, is transformative. It's not about suppressing our emotions, but about channeling them constructively. Instead of being ruled by our reactions, we learn to pause and choose our responses with wisdom. Imagine how different life could be if we applied this approach to our own struggles. If we lacked self-control, a single moment of anger could ruin years of work, or an impulsive purchase could push us deeper into debt. But when we practice discipline, we break free from the hold that external circumstances have over us. We stop reacting automatically and instead begin to align our actions with our long-term goals. You see, self-control isn't about deprivation. It's about creating a life of purpose, where each decision is made with intention. It's about becoming unshaken by external chaos, unfazed by the highs and lows of fleeting moods, and instead, building a steady foundation for success, peace, and fulfillment. In 2025, as we strive to become the best versions of ourselves, let self-discipline be our guiding force. It's through this mastery of self that we find the true power to shape our lives, to stay focused on what matters, and to navigate the inevitable challenges that will come our way. Whether it's resisting the urge to splurge on temporary pleasures, or taking a moment of pause before reacting in anger, each act of self-control is a victory. Each time we master our impulses, we reclaim our autonomy, and in doing so, we find greater stability, stronger relationships, and a deeper sense of peace. When we commit to practicing self-discipline, we no longer let life happen to us. We make life happen according to our values and aspirations. So, let 2025 be the year we embrace modern Stoicism and the power of self-control, making it the foundation for building a life of purpose and lasting success. Number 4. Focus on the goals. When you've been chasing a goal, believing that once you achieve it, everything will finally fall into place. We've all been there. We set ambitious goals, thinking that happiness and fulfillment will magically appear once we achieve them. But here's the problem. As soon as we achieve one goal, another one pops up and the cycle begins again. It's a never-ending chase, leaving us feeling like we're always one step behind. The Stoic secrets, however, reveal a profound truth. True fulfillment doesn't come from the goal itself, but from the process of striving toward it. In fact, when we focus only on the outcome, we place our happiness in the hands of things beyond our control. Things like circumstances, other people, and luck. Instead, if we embrace the process, we begin to focus on daily effort, progress, and growth. Take Michael Phelps, for example. He is the most decorated Olympian in history with an astonishing 23 gold medals. Yet after achieving those great accomplishments, he felt empty. It wasn't until he shifted his focus that things began to change. Phelps stopped measuring success solely by the number of gold medals he won. He found joy in the process itself, the training, the discipline, the personal growth. This simple shift in perspective reignited his passion and brought him the lasting fulfillment he had been searching for. What can we learn from this? The journey is just as important, if not more important than the destination. So how can this apply to your life? Whether you're looking to advance your career, improve your fitness, or develop yourself personally, it's crucial to stop obsessing over the end result. It's the little things, the daily habits and efforts, that will build the character and skills necessary for long-term success. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a part of the bigger picture, shaping you into who you're becoming. The Stoics taught us that progress isn't found in the fleeting moments of achievement, but in the consistency of daily actions. If you focus only on the finish line, you risk missing the lessons and growth that come from every single step along the way. This mindset shift also does wonders for reducing anxiety. How often do we worry about whether we'll succeed or whether we're good enough? These fears stem from focusing too much on the outcome. But if you make a commitment to show up and put in the work every day, success becomes the natural byproduct of your efforts. So instead of saying, "I will be happy when I achieve this," start asking yourself, "Am I showing up every day and giving my best?" The journey is where the magic happens. As you move into 2025, consider making this shift. Focus on the process, not the outcome. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals, far from it. It simply means that by embracing the process and the effort, you'll find more joy and fulfillment, regardless of the outcome. When you focus on giving your best, the results take care of themselves. You're able to stay present, reduce the pressure, and truly appreciate the growth that comes with each day. Remember, you can't control the future, but you can always control your effort. And in doing so, you'll unlock a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction. The Stoic secrets lie in this. The journey itself is the reward. So, what does focusing on the process look like for you? What small, consistent actions can you take today to build the life you want? Let go of the pressure of the end result, and instead, commit to enjoying the process. You'll find that along the way, you'll become the person you've always aspired to be. If you've made it this far, you're already on the path to aligning with the wisdom that will shape your future. Reflect on the journey you're about to embark on and leave a comment with the slogan, "Progress, not perfection." By doing so, you show your commitment to embracing the process, focusing on daily growth, and letting go of the obsession with the outcome. Stay with us. This is only the beginning of your transformation. Number 5. Combat procrastination. Have you ever said, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I just need a little more time before I start"? We all have. Procrastination is one of the most dangerous habits, silently holding us back, often without us even realizing it. It convinces us that there will be a perfect time to act, when we feel more ready, when the circumstances are right, or when inspiration finally strikes. But deep down, we all know the truth. That perfect time never comes. The more we wait for it, the more we find ourselves stuck in an endless loop of hesitation and regret. Each moment of delay only makes it harder to take the next step, and before we know it, we're drowning in stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. Procrastination tricks us into thinking that putting things off is harmless, but in reality, it robs us of the progress we desperately need to move forward. Every time we hesitate, we give more power to our fears and doubts, and we hold ourselves back from growth. Here's the harsh truth. The key to overcoming procrastination is taking action, no matter how small. By simply starting, you break free from the cycle of waiting and gain momentum. Imagine Steve, a young entrepreneur with an incredible business idea. He kept telling himself that he needed more experience, more resources, and more certainty before taking the first step. He waited for 2 whole years, always thinking that he wasn't quite ready yet. But when he finally took the plunge, the market had changed, and his once promising idea was no longer viable. That's the tragedy of procrastination. It deceives you into thinking you're preparing, when in fact, you're just avoiding discomfort and allowing time to slip away. This is where we must change our mindset. The Stoics believed in focusing on what's within our control, and one thing we can always control is starting. Waiting for motivation to strike is a dangerous game. Discipline must replace that waiting. To break the procrastination cycle, a simple yet effective tool is the 2-minute rule. If a task can be started in less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. For bigger tasks, break them down into smaller, manageable steps. This makes the task seem less overwhelming, and once you take the first step, the next ones become easier to tackle. In 2025, let's abandon the illusion that everything has to be perfect before we take action. Whether it's launching a new project, starting a fitness journey, or making an important decision, the best time to start is right now. Every small action you take builds momentum, and momentum is what moves us closer to our goals. When we stop procrastinating, we take back control of our future instead of waiting passively for life to unfold. This year, let's commit to taking immediate action, regardless of how imperfect it may feel. Are you ready to make progress, no matter how small the steps might be? How will you stop waiting and start acting today? The time to act is now, and there's no better moment to begin than right this second. Number 6. Negative creativity. Negative creativity is a silent but powerful force that quietly sabotages our success and happiness. It's the tendency to let our minds dwell on worst-case scenarios, to magnify minor obstacles into catastrophic failures, and to imagine problems that haven't even occurred yet. This habit of negative thinking warps reality, making us believe that challenges are too great to overcome and that progress is unattainable. The Stoics, in their timeless wisdom, understood that suffering does not come from the world around us but from our perception of it. They taught us that if we let our minds run wild with negative creativity, we breed unnecessary fear, anxiety, and self-doubt, which paralyze us and prevent us from taking decisive action. It's a vicious cycle, but it can be broken. A businessman once shared a story that perfectly illustrates how negative creativity almost ruined his career. Instead of focusing on improving his product, he spent far too much time ruminating on why customers weren't returning. He blamed the market, his competitors, and the state of the economy, anything but his own decisions. It wasn't until he became aware of these destructive thought patterns that he began to take a step back and look at what he could improve. By shifting his mindset from fear to problem solving, he found practical solutions that not only solved his business challenges, but also led to a flourishing enterprise. His story teaches us a powerful lesson. A shift in mindset from a focus on problems to a focus on solutions can make all the difference. You've probably experienced this yourself. How often do you imagine failure before even trying? How many times have you anticipated a catastrophe that never comes to pass? The truth is, most of the fears we create in our minds are projections that aren't grounded in reality. As the Stoics urged, we must train ourselves to focus only on what is real and what is within our control. The next time you find yourself spiraling into negative creativity, pause and ask, is this fear based on reality or is it just a mental projection? The answer is often clearer than we think. To break free from this destructive habit, the key is to practice rational analysis. Instead of letting your mind dwell on imagined failures, focus on what you can control, the next step forward. Every setback, no matter how small, holds valuable lessons. But those lessons can only be learned if we choose to see them, instead of allowing ourselves to get lost in an endless cycle of worry. Instead of blaming external circumstances for everything that goes wrong, we must look inward and ask, what can I improve? By shifting our creativity from the realm of fear and negative thinking to problem solving and constructive action, we unlock our true potential. The Stoic secrets show us that the future is not shaped by the fears that hold us back, but by the actions we take today. It is through problem-solving and consistent effort that we carve our path forward. In 2025, let this be the year you stop using creativity against yourself. Instead, use it to design the life you want, one that is rooted in rational action and focused on growth. Remember, the obstacles we face are rarely as insurmountable as our minds often make them out to be. By training our minds to focus on solutions, not problems, we release the shackles of negative creativity and open the door to endless possibilities. Number 7. Constant judgment. Constant judgment acts as an invisible chain that binds us to negativity, conflict, and dissatisfaction. It's a habit that consumes our mental energy, focusing on things beyond our control. Every time we judge someone, something, or even ourselves, we give away precious energy to situations that, in the end, don't serve us. This constant need to judge clouds our perception, preventing us from seeing the reality of things clearly. The Stoics knew this well and taught the importance of detaching from judgment. They understood that events are neither inherently good nor bad. It's our perception that assigns meaning to them. By learning to observe without jumping to conclusions or reactions, we allow ourselves the gift of clarity and composure. As Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion." This powerful reminder teaches us that judgment is often a choice, and choosing not to judge allows us to stay grounded and peaceful. In modern life, we can see this at play in everyday scenarios. Take, for example, the frustration of sitting in traffic when you're running late. Your mind immediately starts churning out judgments. Why is everyone driving so poorly? This city is a disaster. And before you know it, stress takes over. The reality is simple. Traffic exists, and complaining about it doesn't change anything. It's a neutral event. But when we view it through the lens of modern Stoicism, we realize we have the power to detach. Instead of reacting with frustration, we can accept the situation calmly and focus on what's within our control, our response. This shift in mindset doesn't only reduce emotional turmoil, it makes it easier to navigate life with a greater sense of peace and perspective. But judgment doesn't just affect us internally, it impacts our relationships as well. Judging others often leads to resentment and conflict. When we fixate on how others fall short of our expectations, we create frustration rather than understanding. Think about it. How often do we look at someone's actions and think they should know better? Instead of assuming the worst, we can practice empathy and acknowledge that others are fighting their own battles. Everyone has their struggles, and viewing them through this lens of understanding rather than judgment fosters connection and peace. As modern Stoicism teaches, detachment from judgment leads us to emotional freedom, freeing us from unnecessary strife and offering us the space to be more compassionate and understanding in our relationships. Letting go of judgment isn't about ignoring reality. It's about seeing it with a sense of neutrality. It's not about dismissing what happens around us, but rather approaching situations with clarity, wisdom, and calm. In 2025, we have an opportunity to redefine how we interact with the world. We can strive to observe situations, rather than immediately reacting, to listen without assuming, and to respond with understanding instead of criticism. When we detach from constant judgment, we open the door to inner peace, greater patience, and a clearer perspective on life. The world around us is neither against us nor for us, it simply exists. Learning to accept this fact liberates us from the unnecessary suffering that judgment brings. By embracing this approach, we become more at peace with ourselves and the world, navigating life with wisdom and equanimity. Through the lens of modern Stoicism, we can choose not to be controlled by judgment and, in doing so, create a life filled with clarity and tranquility. Number 8. The illusion of knowing everything. I know how easy it is to fall into the trap of thinking we already know everything we need to know. After all, we've gained some experience. We've picked up knowledge along the way, and it feels reassuring to believe we've got it all figured out. But here's the catch. The moment we start thinking we know it all, we stop growing. We close ourselves off to new ideas, different perspectives, and opportunities to improve. The Stoic secrets tell us that true wisdom doesn't lie in accumulating knowledge, but in recognizing how little we truly know and remaining open to continuous learning. This mindset shift is crucial for anyone who wants to grow, evolve, and become better every day. Think about it. If you're constantly seeking answers from the world around you, how can you expect to learn something new if you're not open to hearing it? Take Charles Darwin, for instance. He revolutionized science with his theory of evolution. But what's really fascinating is that he didn't rest on his laurels. He remained intellectually humble, constantly questioning his own findings. Darwin famously said, "Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge." Even with his groundbreaking discoveries, he wasn't set in stone, confident he knew it all. He recognized the value of curiosity and willingness to challenge his assumptions. If Darwin had been convinced that he had all the answers, would we have the same breakthroughs in science today? This is a powerful lesson. The illusion of knowing everything traps us in a state of stagnation, where we stop evolving and miss out on valuable insights that could change everything. So, what can we do to break free from this illusion? It starts with adopting the mindset of a student. I know it sounds simple, but it's powerful. Imagine if you approached every conversation, every piece of new information, with a willingness to learn instead of prove your point. Ask more questions. Listen more than you speak. Be curious and don't shy away from ideas that challenge your current way of thinking. The Stoics, with all their wisdom, taught that self-improvement requires us to unlearn what no longer serves us, to be corrected when we're wrong, and to embrace new ideas, even when they contradict our previous beliefs. This approach doesn't make you weak or unsure. It makes you open, adaptable, and ready for the next chapter of growth. What if 2025 was the year you truly embraced intellectual humility? Instead of assuming you've got it all figured out, take a step back and ask yourself, what more can I learn? What am I missing? The most successful people aren't those who have all the answers. They're the ones who keep asking the right questions, seeking wisdom from every corner of life. Recognizing that there's always something new to discover keeps you from falling into the trap of complacency. It frees you from the illusion that you already know it all, and it opens doors to new experiences and deeper understanding. In the pursuit of knowledge, it's not certainty that leads to wisdom, but curiosity and the continuous pursuit of understanding. So are you ready to embrace the idea that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know? This is where the true power of growth lies. Let's leave behind the illusion of knowing everything and step boldly into the endless world of learning that awaits us. The Stoic secrets show us that the journey is never over, and there's always more to uncover. If you're still with me, it's clear you value continuous growth and the pursuit of wisdom. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the slogan, "The more we learn, the less we know." And let's keep the conversation going. We're all on this journey of learning together, and there's much more to explore. Stay tuned for more insightful content coming your way soon. Let's embrace the power of intellectual humility and grow together. Number 9. Seeking recognition. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, if only I could get a little recognition for this, or if people could just see how hard I've been working? We all crave acknowledgement, but here's the thing. Seeking recognition can actually hold you back from finding true fulfillment. It's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your worth based on how much praise you receive from others. But this pursuit of external validation can be one of the most destructive habits you can cultivate. Sure, recognition feels good in the moment, but relying on it as your primary source of motivation leads to insecurity, dependency on others' approval, and often disappointment. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, understood this deeply and taught us that virtue is its own reward. You don't need applause to know you're on the right path. True fulfillment comes from doing what is right, not from waiting for others to notice. When we serve only for recognition, we leave ourselves open to feeling empty when that recognition is absent. Let's take a moment to think about Katherine Johnson, the brilliant NASA mathematician who helped make history with her groundbreaking calculations that were critical to space missions. For years her work went largely unrecognized, but she continued with passion and dedication, not because she was looking for fame or applause, but because she believed in the value of her work. Her legacy wasn't built on the recognition she received. It was built on her excellence, integrity, and the silent impact she made. If Katherine had lived her life solely chasing recognition, she may have abandoned her work long before she achieved the extraordinary results she did. This story perfectly highlights the difference between living for recognition and living with purpose. When we live for external validation, we get trapped in a cycle. We need others' approval to feel fulfilled, and anything less than praise feels like a personal failure. Criticism wounds us deeply, and a lack of acknowledgement can make us question our worth. But what if we shifted our mindset? What if we started to serve, work, and act not for recognition, but because we know it's the right thing to do? This is where true freedom lies. When you stop depending on others' opinions to validate your actions, you free yourself to find deeper meaning and satisfaction in everything you do. As we move into 2025, we need to let go of the constant need for validation and focus on doing meaningful work for its own sake. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, the goal should always be to act with integrity, not to chase applause. The Stoic principle of focusing on what's within our control, our actions, our values, and our principles, guides us here. When you detach from the expectation of recognition, you find peace and purpose that no fleeting praise could ever provide. You start serving not because you crave acknowledgement, but because your work fulfills you and contributes to something greater than yourself. And here's the beauty. The impact you make when you live with purpose will outlast any temporary recognition. Your work, your legacy, and the difference you make in the world will stand on its own, independent of others' fleeting opinions. So I ask you, are you ready to break free from the need for validation? Can you shift your focus to acting with integrity, regardless of who notices or applauds? Let this be the year you stop living for applause and start living for purpose. Number 10. Not curate your environment. The environment you create around yourself has a profound impact on your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Often, we overlook how much the people, places, and daily habits we engage with shape the way we see the world and ourselves. When your environment is filled with negativity or toxic influences, it inevitably pulls you away from your highest potential. On the other hand, curating a space that aligns with your values and aspirations can fuel personal growth, focus, and fulfillment. The Stoics understood that while external circumstances are beyond our control, we have the power to decide what we allow into our personal space. As Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This concept applies to your environment. It's not about what you have, but what you choose to invite into your life. Take Simone Biles, for example. She chose to withdraw from a major competition, prioritizing her mental health over national pride. This decision sent a powerful message. Greatness isn't about enduring external pressures, but aligning actions with your well-being and values. You too have the ability to curate your environment in a way that supports your mental and emotional health. Your environment reflects the mental clarity and strength you seek to cultivate within yourself. To create a supportive environment, begin by evaluating both your physical surroundings and your social circles. A cluttered space can lead to a cluttered mind, just as surrounding yourself with toxic or draining people can deplete your energy and focus. When you're around negative, Or, critical individuals, their energy becomes your own. Contrast that with spending time with those who inspire, challenge, and support your growth. This positive energy propels you toward your best self. Similarly, constantly consuming negative media or scrolling through social media that leaves you feeling overwhelmed can affect your mindset and actions. A negative environment inevitably shapes your outlook. In 2025, it's crucial to be intentional about the environment you cultivate. Declutter your physical space to create clarity. Set boundaries with toxic influences, whether it's disengaging from draining relationships or limiting exposure to negative media. Be selective about the people you allow into your circle. Choose those who encourage your growth and align with your aspirations. As Seneca said, "A friend is what the heart needs all the time." Ensure that the relationships you nurture uplift and support you. Curating your environment is an act of self-respect. It's about taking charge of your mental and emotional landscape by consciously choosing your influences. Life is chaotic and the world around us can be unpredictable, but within your own space, you have the power to create order and inspiration. Be mindful of the information you consume. It should nourish your mind and spirit. By shaping your environment, you set the stage for growth and resilience. Aligning your surroundings with your values strengthens and focuses you. Let 2025 be the year you reclaim your space, physically, emotionally, and mentally, and thrive in the environment you create. Number 11. Giving less than your best effort. Mediocrity doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It creeps in quietly, taking root in the moments when we choose convenience over effort, when we settle for good enough instead of striving for excellence. It's easy to fall into the trap of doing the bare minimum, believing that it's enough to get by, but over time, this mindset breeds stagnation, regret, and the haunting feeling of unfulfilled potential. The Stoics understood that true virtue is found in the way we approach every action. No matter how small or seemingly insignificant, it's about giving our best, not for the approval of others, but because it's the right thing to do. The Stoics taught that life rewards those who commit to doing things with integrity and purpose, not because someone is watching, but because they are driven by a deeper sense of duty. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This simple yet profound message reminds us that true excellence lies not in external recognition, but in the internal commitment to do our best. In modern life, it's easy to let mediocrity creep into our work, relationships, or personal goals. Think about a time when you were part of a team at work, and instead of pushing for something truly remarkable, everyone settled for the bare minimum. The presentation may have been passable, but it lacked energy and inspiration. The results were adequate but uninspired. Over time, this just enough mentality becomes a habit. You might even find that this habit follows you into other areas of life, causing you to settle for mediocrity instead of striving for growth. But compare this to someone who, regardless of the task at hand, pours their best effort into everything they do, whether at work, in personal relationships, or in self-improvement. This individual might not always get immediate, perfect results, but their commitment to doing their best builds something far more valuable: character, resilience, and the foundation for long-term success. Excellence isn't about outperforming others. It's about surpassing our own previous efforts. The Stoics believed that every action, no matter how small, was an opportunity to improve and become the best version of ourselves. Marcus Aurelius encouraged us to live each day as if it were our last, not recklessly, but with mindful effort, purpose, and dedication. If today were your final chance to contribute, how would you approach your tasks? Would you do them half-heartedly, or would you make every moment count? Excellence comes from showing up fully, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's difficult. By committing to giving our best in everything we do, we build self-respect and fulfillment that no external recognition or reward can ever match. In 2025, I encourage you to make a commitment to show up fully in every area of your life. Whether in your career, personal growth, or relationships, giving your best effort elevates your experience. The world is full of people who do the minimum, who settle for mediocrity because it feels comfortable. But those who give their all, even in the small things, are the ones who stand out, who grow stronger, and who find deeper satisfaction in their journey. Every task, no matter how trivial it may seem, is an opportunity to build a life of meaning and discipline. This year, let's rise above mediocrity and dedicate ourselves to the pursuit of excellence. Through the lens of modern Stoicism, we learn that our true value lies in the effort we put into each day, not in the outcome we achieve. Excellence is not a destination but a daily practice, and it starts with the commitment to give our best in everything we do. Number 12. Releasing emotional baggage. Imagine trying to run a race while dragging an anchor behind you. It slows you down, drains your energy, and keeps you from reaching your full potential. This is what it's like to carry emotional baggage. Past regrets, unresolved resentment, and painful memories are like weights that hold us back, influencing our decisions and limiting our future. It's easy to get trapped in these emotions, believing they define us. We may constantly replay painful moments in our minds, reliving old hurts and disappointments. But here's the thing. We often forget that we have the power to choose how we react to those experiences. The Stoic secrets teach us that true freedom doesn't come from erasing the past. It comes from changing the way we perceive it, so it no longer controls us. Instead of letting the past dictate our present and future, we can reinterpret it, using it as a stepping stone for growth. Let me tell you about Sarah, a woman who carried the weight of a failed business partnership for years. She replayed her mistakes over and over, holding on to resentment toward her former partner. This emotional baggage didn't just affect her career, it seeped into her personal relationships, creating distance between her and the people she loved. It drained her mental health, preventing her from moving forward. But everything shifted for Sarah when she discovered Stoic philosophy. Rather than focusing on the betrayal and pain, she chose to look at the lessons that came with the experience. She recognized that the failure had taught her valuable lessons about resilience, decision-making, and the importance of clear communication. By releasing the emotional burden, she freed herself to move forward with newfound strength and confidence. Sarah's story shows us that emotional liberation is about changing our mindset, not ignoring the past, but transforming it into something that propels us forward. Letting go of emotional baggage doesn't mean pretending the pain never existed. It means transforming it. We've all faced challenges, some of which have hurt deeply. But these experiences shape who we are. The question is, do we allow those experiences to define us negatively, or do we use them as fuel for our personal growth? The Stoics believed that every hardship, every challenge is an opportunity for the mind to grow stronger, to become more patient, and to gain clarity. Instead of seeing pain as something that diminishes us, we can view it as a source of wisdom. Each obstacle can be a lesson, and each lesson can lead to greater emotional resilience. As we step into 2025, let's commit to emotional freedom. Holding on to bitterness, guilt, or self-blame doesn't serve us. It only prolongs our suffering. Instead, let's take a moment to reflect on the past, not with a sense of regret, but with gratitude for the lessons it has taught us. By releasing what no longer serves us, whether it's anger toward someone who hurt us or guilt over past mistakes, we make room for new, positive experiences. These emotions have played their part in shaping us, but they don't need to dictate our future. When we let go of emotional baggage, we create space for deeper relationships, new opportunities, and a more fulfilling life. True strength, as the Stoics taught, isn't about holding on to pain or regrets. It's about learning from them and using that wisdom to move forward with grace and resilience. So I ask you, what would it feel like to let go of the weight you've been carrying? What new opportunities could open up if you freed yourself from the past? The Stoic secrets show us that the past is a part of us, but it doesn't have to hold us back. Let 2025 be the year you let go, embrace emotional freedom, and step into the future with a lighter heart and a wiser mind. As you think about letting go of emotional baggage and stepping into a brighter future, ask yourself, what would it feel like to free yourself from the weight you've been carrying? The past has shaped you, but it doesn't have to define your future. Share your commitment with our community and take the first step toward emotional freedom. Comment, "I'm ready to let go," to show you're ready to release what no longer serves you and embrace a future full of new opportunities and strength. Let's make 2025 the year we release what holds us back and step into a life of clarity and resilience. Number 13. Grand achievements. Do you have a big, life-changing moment in mind? The kind of event or accomplishment that you believe will suddenly make everything in your life okay? We've all been there, right? We envision a single defining moment when everything will change for the better and our success will be assured. But the truth is, true success doesn't come from waiting for a big event to change your life. It's not about a spectacular breakthrough. It's about the small, consistent actions you take every day. Modern Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson in this regard. True achievement is built over time, through steady effort and discipline. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, knew that greatness is not something you can achieve overnight. It doesn't come from seeking massive wins all at once. Instead, it's the accumulation of daily habits, the small victories, and the unwavering commitment to consistent progress that shape who we are and what we accomplish. Success isn't just the destination, it's the journey itself. Think about James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. Early on, he didn't aim to become a best-selling author in a single leap. He didn't wait for a perfect moment or grand breakthrough. Instead, he committed to writing just one article every week, refining his ideas and improving over time. That small, steady effort turned into a book that changed the lives of millions. His success wasn't the result of one giant leap. It was about the accumulation of small, disciplined steps taken consistently over time. This principle applies to every area of life. Want to get stronger? You don't build strength by going to the gym for a single intense workout. It takes months and years of daily practice, consistency, and effort. The same goes for building wealth, improving yourself, or cultivating meaningful relationships. Without daily discipline and small, consistent actions, even your biggest dreams will remain just that, dreams. As we approach 2025, it's time for a shift in perspective. Instead of obsessing over the end result, let's focus on mastering our daily routines. Small actions, like waking up early, reading for just 10 minutes a day, practicing a new skill, or exercising regularly, may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they will add up to something extraordinary. By developing consistent habits, you'll create a foundation for lasting success, and you won't be reliant on bursts of fleeting motivation. This year, let's prioritize the process. Trust in the power of steady, incremental progress. Understand that greatness isn't a single event or moment. It's built one small action at a time. As the Stoics wisely said, do not wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. So, what small daily action will you take today? What small step can you take to make 2025 the year of steady progress and personal growth? Together we can create lasting change, one action at a time. Number 14. Letting external events control your emotions. One of the biggest obstacles to achieving true personal freedom is allowing external events to dictate your emotional state. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges like traffic, jams, economic downturns, unexpected failures, and people who criticize or misunderstand you. These events are an inevitable part of life, but how you choose to respond to them is completely within your control. If you allow your peace of mind to depend on everything going exactly as planned, you will find yourself living in a constant state of frustration, anxiety, and disappointment. The true key to a better life is mastering your emotions and refusing to let external chaos dictate your internal peace. Let's look at this concept with a simple example. Think about two people stuck in the same traffic jam. One is furious, banging on the steering wheel, honking the horn, and letting the situation ruin their entire day. The other, however, remains calm, takes a deep breath, and uses the extra time to listen to an audiobook, reflect, or plan their day. The external event, the traffic jam, is exactly the same for both, but their emotional responses couldn't be more different. Why is that? Because one person surrendered their peace to something beyond their control, while the other consciously chose to maintain their calm and perspective. This seemingly small choice is the difference between emotional resilience and living in constant frustration. Life will always present you with unpredictable challenges, but the power lies in how you choose to react to those challenges. Overreacting emotionally not only drains your energy, but often leads to poor decisions. When you allow your emotions to control your actions, logic and reason fade, and impulsive reactions can make situations worse. Instead of acting based on fleeting feelings, you must practice taking a pause before responding. Take a moment to observe your emotions without letting them overtake you. Ask yourself, is this situation worth sacrificing my peace? Will my reaction improve this situation, or will it make things worse? More often than not, simply recognizing that an external event does not have power over you is enough to regain control of your emotions. In moments of frustration, remind yourself that the power to choose your response lies entirely in your hands. The Stoics taught that true happiness and contentment do not come from wealth, recognition, or external success, but from inner stability and mastery over oneself. If you allow the ups and downs of life to dictate your mood and emotions, you will always be a prisoner to circumstances beyond your control. But if you learn to remain calm and composed in the face of any challenge, you will find that no external event can shake you. The world around you will never be predictable, and challenges will always arise, but you have the power to be free from their grip. You do not have to allow them to control your emotional state. In 2025, make it your goal to master your inner world and maintain control over your emotions. The moment you stop letting external events control your peace is the moment you become truly unshakable. By embracing this Stoic secret, you will take back control of your emotions and, by extension, your life. In conclusion, the 14 habits we've explored today aren't simply small changes. They represent profound shifts in how we think, act, and live. By letting go of comfort, complaining, procrastination, self-doubt, and the need for constant validation, we open the door to becoming stronger, more resilient individuals. The Stoics taught us that true fulfillment comes not from external achievements, but from mastering our inner world, our thoughts, actions, and habits. So I ask you, which of these habits are you ready to release to make 2025 your most transformative year? By applying the principles of modern Stoicism and embracing Stoic secrets, you have the power to shape your life and grow into the best version of yourself. Take action today. Commit to your personal growth. Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's start this journey together. The path to happiness and fulfillment begins now, and it all starts with the choices you make today.